Hello and welcome, Scooby Doo, the movie, game. Who didn't love the 2002? Here we are 20 years later. And I remember getting this as a kid at the time because I was obsessed with Scooby Doo and obsessed with this movie. It was good. We got the game. I don't know what happened to it. Family must have done something. So we found it at a good price. And we're going to go over it. It's the Scooby Doo, the movie game from Pressman. The mystery has never been more real. They do look pretty real, don't they, Scoob? Yeah, they look really real. Also, I want to rock your rod. Roar. Here's the back of the box. There you can see copyright and all that stuff there. There's a cool picture of Scooby and Shaggy. There's the year 2002. There's the board and setup. And then here's some fun art on the side of the box. It's Scooby's face. What the hell? Yeah, it's that one on all sides of it. Alright, let's get into the game now. Alright, as you can see the contents. There's the board. Here's the instructions. I really like the instructions. There's like, it's a big page of it. Look at that. That is a big thing of instructions. And then look, I love the art of Scooby Doo right there. This looks awesome. It looks really cool. So all the contents are there. And we'll look through this real quick just to show you the rules and more of the art. Totem Scooby, the little entrance, the cartoon version of them just laughing. And then, of course, at the end here, winning, and Scooby-Doo having a sandwich. Lava, Atlantic, Warner Brothers, Pressman, lots of stuff on this. I love their face. The spinner, our 4 character pieces, you know, Fred, Daphne, Shaggy, and Velma, and their bodies, their oh my goodness, like, oh, their dismembered bodies, oh, their heads are gone. Oh, it's so gruesome. But hey, they still got legs. Wow. And their stands. 3 villains. Good job, you win. Sorry, try again. Sorry, try again. These little villain inserts. And the deck of cards. You have clue cards, and then 4 of these host body cards. Here's a quick look at the game board. Scooby-Doo. Start. You tell you to start on the draw 2 clue cards pile. So there's Spooky Island's entrance at the pier. We go along there. And there is the center of the board. Let's just get a nice way above shot. There's the Vat of Souls. Little carnival ride there. There's all of that. There's some tikis. There's that creepy entrance to all that. There's the Spooky Hotel. In the land of a million dollars. Spooky Castle. There's Scooby again, looking all smug as a tiki for some reason. Scary. Ooh. Dead Mics. And we visited all the way around the Spooky Island board, the game board. What do you say we get into the game already? Scooby. You don't know what happened. You don't know how that happened, do you? For setup, as Scoob was trying to say, you take the villains, fold them in half, then take the villain inserts and you place them face down. Give them a good mix, and then place these, you know, into the villains. And because Scooby and Shaggy, they love their sandwiches, it tells you to insert those and be sure they're sandwiched in between. No peeking. And then place them on each of the outside purple spots outside of Spooky Island. All around it. There. So with the bodies, again, as you can see, when you get them out, you'll fold them into stuff like this. Fold them up like so, and then try to insert them in, and then they should be fine. And thus, the head should slide right in and stay there. By golly, it's Velma. By George, it's Fred. By golly, gee willikers, it's Shaggy. And look, Daphne's slipping into, well, Daphne. They're all there. They're all there at the Spooky Island. Ooh. The Scooby Doo, where are you? We're over here. I'm just watching. Yeah, so are we. And the draw 2 right there, it even says start for you, is where you are going to put everyone to start. For the players who are playing, that is. So deal out the host body cards for players. Now if there's a player, let's say someone isn't playing Velma, well then obviously you would just take Velma, and throw it back in the box. As Pinhead would say, then you can open the box and have some fun later. And you only keep the ones you're going to play with. But the other cards, shuffle these, and then deal out 1 to each player, and then place them on the side of the board, for the remainder of the game, for the draw pile. On your turn, youngest player goes first, and you go clockwise. So you spin the spinner, call the shots, twist or ties you up in and up. You go whatever it goes on here. The outside is where your friend, they describe it, who you are, your body. Let's say like Daphne here. Let's say Daphne here. And so she'll be moving 3 if you're her, or if you're Fred, if you're Shaggy, Velma, whatever. The numbers on this side are where you're going to be moving the villains, and you can move them however you want. And again, you can move your character. You can move your character, so she rolled 3, so you can go 1, 2, 3, or you can go 1, 2, 3, any way around the board, but you can't go like 1, 2, 3, or like 1, 2, 3. You can't like turn around and go back. If you're choosing one way to go, you got to go that way. And no 2 players, even though Fred and Daphne are sweet on each other, they can't be on the same spot. So you can't share the same spot with another friend, another ally, another gain of the mystery machine. If you were, like say Fred were to move on the same space, he'd have to go to the next available space if you were to land on it. But a villain and a member of the Mystery Inc. can share the same spot. It's just 2 members can. A villain and a member can. They're tiny. Now remember, it's to move your character's head, no matter who it's on. Like during the game, these are going to swap out and stuff. So you move your character's, your friend's head, whatever that's on. So, like say you're Shaggy, but Shaggy's head might be on Daphne's body. You'll move that one, even though it's, not going to be, even though it's going to be a little freaky scene. Him with that girlish figure and her all lanky. So this is you now, not this one. So this will be the one you're moving, if that solves any confusion. La 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 la. I'm so pretty. When you move your character, you can't go here unless you have a villain with you. Otherwise, you cannot move into the Vat of Souls. You can have a villain move itself onto there, though. You can't, but you can move a villain on there when you're moving a villain. There are 2 special spots on the spinner. Send your head to the Vat of Souls. You will take your head and put it there, and then your turn ends. On your next turn, you can pick your head up and put it wherever an empty body is, preferably your own character's body. Send all heads to the Vat of Souls. That means everyone has to take their heads, even if they haven't moved from start yet, and throw them in the Vat of Souls. And that's where the host body cards come into play. And that's where you will shuffle them, and then deal out whoever to get, and then obviously follow the instructions to put your head on whoever's body you get. Put your head on Fred's body. Put your head on Velma's. Put your head on Shaggy's. And put your head on Daphne's body.
I think I know who it is.
Yes, I would. If a player moves a villain by himself into the Vat of Souls, all players place their heads in the Vat of Souls. The host body cards, again, are shuffled, and each player takes one in the same way as if it was spun. Now, what about those clue cards? The clue cards, remember, Scooby Doo, we gotta have clues, Clues, Scooby Doo, clues. There are 4 locations on the board where friends can take 2 clue cards. The Pier, Spooky Castle, Dead Mike's, and Spooky Hotel. A player must land on these by exact, or when your friend's place has been traded in order to take cards. These spaces may be occupied by more than one player. The following cards are used to move a body with a head on it. Move 1 space, move 2 spaces, trade places with another player, move to blank, draw 2 more cards. The following cards only affect the player's head. No bodies move. Switch heads with another player. block a head switch. Get out of here. Bruh. Retrieve your head. This will allow you to retrieve your head and spin during the same turn. You may play any number of these cards in any order before you spin the spinner on the turn. If playing a card of cards allows a player to land on draw 2 card spaces, you may draw those cards and play them before you spin as well. When a player with a matching head and body lands on the same space as a villain by exact count, or when a villain is moved to a matching friend, the friend captures that villain. The player then moves both movers on his or her next turn towards one of the entrances of the Vat of Souls. You can only enter the Vat of Souls by exact count. While a friend is in control of a villain, no other player can move that villain away. Also, if a friend lands on the villain's space and captures the villain, that player can still complete the remainder of his turn by moving the pair according to the number on the spinner. All following moves of the friend-villain pair are moved according to the number of the inner ring. A player can lose a villain in his control if he loses his head before he reaches the Vat of Souls. The player remains on the same space as the body part, whatever the new head is, but is now free to be moved or captured by any other player. Lots of confusion in this, isn't there? Once your friend/villain pair are in the Vat of Souls, by exact count, the player reveals to all the insert card hidden within his villain. If it is not the real villain, both the villain and the insert card are removed from play. The next player takes his or her turn. The player in the Vat of Souls begins his or her next turn from there. Sorry, try again. F*** you. Once a player successfully reveals a card that says, "Good job," you win. The game is over. It was Shaggy the whole time. It's like Scooby Doo. Yay for Shaggy. Yeah. Overall, a fun little game. Brings back memories from it. And it had some issues, but it's still pretty fun. And I just love Scooby Doo. I love the Scooby Doo 2 movies, live action ones. Portrait Best. Thank heaven he's a perfect replacement for Casey Kasem. Rest in peace. And just pretty fun. Pretty cool. That's sort of thoughts about it. And don't forget to check our review soon of the actual movie. Yay! Well, good thing we gave him that Scooby snack. So what do you think, Scoob? Yeah, he seems very, very excited. The tail's wagging and all. So again, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Next time. Ruby, Ruby, Roo, the game.